The year is 1210. The Mongolian steppe, midnight. Thousands of tents, hundreds of guards, and right in the center, one of the most dangerous men the world had ever seen at that time, Genghis Khan. Now let me ask you the real question. If 16 modern US Marines were sent to this night, and their only mission was to eliminate Genghis Khan before he became even more powerful, could they actually pull it off? Now it sounds easy, right? You have night vision, an M4, suppressors, radios, body armor, while they have bows, swords, and horses. But here's the reality. You're only 16 people, and your ammunition is limited. On the other side, there are 100,000 Mongol warriors ready to die to protect their ruler. Genghis Khan's army was a nightmare in that era. The man controlled nearly a quarter of the world. Because of this, he was extremely paranoid about security. Having faced betrayal and assassination attempts since childhood, he constantly tested even his closest men for loyalty, frequently changed the tent he stayed in, and kept his location secret until the last moment. When setting up camps, they used plenty of decoy tents while hiding the real command center. No one knew his exact location except his elite guards and the most trusted warriors who had proven their loyalty. By the way, the channel is new, but it's going to blow up, so you might want to subscribe. The modern soldiers were observing the camp from a hill about 2 kilometers north of the encampment using thermal optics. The team leader had finalized the plan. First, there would only be observation. Every movement, every patrol, every guard rotation would be recorded. The entire team was connected via radio. 4 out of the 16 soldiers would never enter the operation. They would stay up top and manage observation and coordination. They didn't attack on the first night. They spent the entire day just observing. They flew the drone silently at about 200 meters, counting who entered and exited which tent using thermal imaging. They tracked how often guards rotated, which ones were slacking, and identified the weakest points. In a short time, they realized the camp was protected by a 3-layer security system. The outer layer consisted of patrols, the middle layer was held by more disciplined units, and the center belonged to the most elite guards. And the most critical detail was this. To reach Genghis Khan, you had to get through that inner layer. The deeper you went, the harder the security became with every step. The team leader made his decision. The operation would happen tonight. Because their time was limited, Genghis Khan could relocate. The soldiers could get sick from diseases of that era. And most importantly, they would start having supply problems over time. 2:40 a.m. The Marines approached the encampment in a controlled manner. Complete darkness has set in, and that is their biggest advantage. The 4-man observation and coordination team stays behind, moving to a slight elevation to monitor the camp. Information constantly flows through the radio. A 6-man team quietly moves toward the weak point they had identified earlier. The remaining 6 soldiers move from another side of the camp toward a small elevated observation point. Plan A is in motion. The drone silently takes off and approaches the observation point. The Mongol warrior there suddenly notices the movement above. He doesn't understand what it is. At first, he thinks it's a bird. For a brief moment, he completely loses focus. That's the moment. One of the modern soldiers gets right behind him and finishes him silently with a single knife strike. This warrior had just started his shift. That means they have about 3 hours until the next rotation. They quickly make a decision. One soldier puts on the clothes of the neutralized warrior to infiltrate inside. A sniper is positioned at the same point. If the correct target is identified inside, the operation will end with a single shot. This is the fastest and cleanest solution. So far, everything is going according to plan. At the same time, the other 6-man team also makes their move. They silently take out 2 guards in another section of the camp. Everything is progressing almost perfectly. Clothes are taken, traces are minimized. Now 3 modern soldiers look like ordinary Mongol warriors from the outside. The most dangerous part of the plan is about to begin. The second phase is activated. 4 soldiers spread out to more distant points of the camp. The objective is simple: create distraction. Within a short time, small fires begin in different areas. First one, then another, then a third. Horses become restless, soldiers start running around, patrol units quickly move in that direction. No one fully understands what's happening, but everyone reacts the same way. They move toward the fire, and at that exact moment, an opportunity appears. The disguised soldiers begin moving in the opposite direction of the crowd. No one pays attention to them because everyone is focused on something else. Meanwhile, coordination continues through the drone. Using thermal imaging, they identify the tent with the highest heat signature. Genghis Khan is most likely there because that area has the heaviest protection. The infiltrating soldiers silently pass the first security layer, then move through the second without being noticed. They are now approaching the most critical part of the camp. From here on, everything is pure reflex with zero margin for error. And right at that moment, things go wrong. A Mongol warrior starts approaching one of them. At first, it seems like a routine check. He asks a short question, maybe about the watch, maybe where he came from, but there's no response, because the soldier doesn't know Mongolian. That half-second hesitation gives him away. The Mongol warrior's expression changes instantly. To avoid being exposed, the soldier opens fire, but with that gunshot, the entire step goes into full alarm. The team leader immediately realizes the situation and switches to Plan B. Grenades are thrown at the area where the warriors are heading due to the fires, and at the same time, the area is put under crossfire from different angles. The goal is not to kill, but purely to create distraction. Meanwhile, the sniper is tasked with covering the infiltrating soldiers. But now the entire step is on full alert. One soldier alone is not enough. So the coordination team quickly scans the area with the drone and directs another three-man team through a gap they find. But at that moment, something critical happens. Genghis Khan has already been moved out of the tent and is no longer a fixed target. He is surrounded by warriors and constantly changing position. The sniper tries to get a visual, but cannot find a clear shot because the protection circle is too tight. At this point, time is completely against them. The soldiers inside have to move faster. At that moment, an experienced Mongol warrior notices these strange men holding rifles. He pauses for a second, trying to understand what they are, but his instinct acts faster. He raises his spear and throws it with full force while shouting to alert the others. At that exact moment, the sniper takes him out with a single shot, but it's already too late. The thrown spear hits one of the modern soldiers in the shoulder, and he drops instantly. Seeing this, other Mongol warriors start rushing toward them without hesitation. The team has no room to retreat, but right then, the support team arrives. A flashbang is thrown among them, and in that tight space, the explosion of light and sound completely disorients the warriors for a moment. In that brief window, the modern soldiers react and open fire, neutralizing those charging at them within seconds. But now everyone knows that nothing will move silently from this point on. Finally, they reach the tent where Genghis Khan is being protected. There is no time left. They use nearly all their ammunition to open crossfire on the tent. They cannot see a clear target through thermal or night vision, but they know there is movement inside. Without taking any risks, they throw their grenades into the tent. With the explosion, the tent is completely destroyed and the mission is completed. And that's it. 16 guys go in, get the job done, and get out. It sounds ridiculous, yeah. But if you're looking for logic, this probably isn't the channel for you, because most of these scenarios are just ideas I come up with in the bathroom. If it's your thing, subscribe. I'll be opening a Discord soon, so stay tuned.